is like a new job for you.
It is definitely a new job and a very different kind of a job. I was privileged to fight fires here in the Valley and serve as a paramedic for 37 years. Retired from the Glendale Fire Department back in March, and this opportunity was brought to me, and believe me, I haven't looked back.
Dozens of firemen have already been injured, and many more will fall as they move in to find the seat of the fire. Smoke inhalation and eye wounds are the most common injuries, but there are also a few men suffering from burns and puncture wounds. Doc Archer, as usual, has been called on the second alarm and has been transported by Ambulance 1 to the scene of the fire. The son of the president of the Erie Railroad, Harry Archer attended Columbia University and Bellevue Medical College and has volunteered his services at major fires for almost 40 years. As a boy, Harry developed a strong interest in the fire department and was well known in the firehouses near his family's mansion on Fifth Avenue. The first civilian to be awarded a Department Medal for Valor, and now holder of the most prestigious medal of all, the James Gordon Bennett. Honorary Chief Medical Officer Doc Archer continues to tend his injured friends. Although then in his 60s, Harry Archer was not ready to retire. At the annual medal ceremony in 1940, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia appointed him to his first paid position, Second Deputy Commissioner. But Doc Archer continued his voluntary work as a medical officer. His 60 years of service to New York firefighters began during the time of horses and ended just as the gasoline engine gave way to diesel. As fearless as any New York firefighter, Doc Archer repeatedly risked his own life to rescue others. In 1948, at the age of 78, the good doctor was awarded his fifth and final medal for bravery. One of the most decorated men in the history of the Fire Department of New York, Harry Mortimer Archer made his last response to a fire in April of 1954 and passed away a few days later after celebrating his 86th birthday.
Hi everybody, Mark Moorhead here at the Hall of Flame Museum of Firefighting in Phoenix, Arizona. We are the largest historical firefighting museum in the world, and if you can't come into the museum, we'll bring the museum to you. And today we're in a place that even if you came into the museum you normally wouldn't see. We're down in our storage area, our warehouse, on the grounds of the Hall of Flame, and we're sitting on this lovely truck from the FDNY because we're going to talk about somebody who is very near and dear to the heart of the New York City Fire Department, and that was Dr. Harry Mortimer Archer. And if you've never heard of Dr. Archer, you should. Dr. Archer was a physician there in New York City, and what he's remembered for today is his place in the history of the Fire Department of New York City, because he went to fires all the time, and he provided medical services for firefighters and other casualties at thousands of fires over his very long career, and it was always technically a volunteer career. He became an honorary battalion chief in the FDNY, but he never took a salary. He always declined a salary because what he was what they call a buff, an enthusiast. He was just very, very enthusiastic about firefighting and firefighters, and he wanted to keep that buff status. He never wanted to go pro, as they say. So he never took a salary, but that didn't mean that he wasn't a huge and important part of the New York City Fire Department during those years. He was born in 1868, and he lived until 1954. And he worked way into his 80s. He had a practice, and he also worked for a life insurance company, but his real big passion was providing medical services to firefighters and others at the scenes of fires. And he was a real innovator in that field. He developed a couple of different vehicles that looked, for the time, real futuristic, and they were loaded up with all kinds of medical supplies and a lot of kind of gadgetry that he invented. There was an oxygen machine which he designed. He was also a pioneer in the use of paraffin to treat burns. That was something that had been developed during World War I, but Dr. Archer picked up on it for use in providing medical treatment for firefighters. And in this way, you can really say that Harry Archer was a pioneer of what we now think of as EMT, Emergency Medical Services, which has gradually become a really big part, actually the biggest part in a lot of ways, of what firefighters do nowadays. Most firefighters, they don't go to a fire every day. They may not go to a fire every week. Firefighting work tends to be now a lot of broken legs and heart attacks and car accidents and people falling off of ladders and stuff like that. And the idea that we think of this now as what firefighters do, but that wasn't what we thought of firefighters doing back in the 19-teens, 1920s, the time that Dr. Archer was doing it. It was really kind of new, the idea that somebody would provide medical services at the scene of a fire. So in that sense, he was a real innovator in the history of the fire service. And he's remembered now in New York City because there is an award that's given. It's only given every 3 years, and that is the Archer Medal. The Archer Medal is given every 3 years to a firefighter, a uniformed firefighter, who has already won one or more medals, and who they decide over a 3-year period has behaved in a valorous way that is particularly deserving of getting this award. So the name of Harry Archer still lives on in the New York City Fire Department, and we are particularly fond of him here at the museum because we have some of his stuff. I have actually one of his helmets here. We have several of Dr. Archer's helmets here at the Hall of Flame Museum. This is one of them, but we are very, very proud to be the custodian of kind of some of the physical artifacts of Dr. Archer's remarkable career. So that is our little summation of Dr. Archer. If you like these video segments, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share them with your friends and do all that stuff. And check back often, because we're always trying to get you new stuff from the Hall of Flame Museum of Firefighting. I'm Mark Moorhead. Bye-bye.